Hey, Plant Pals, Mike the Cat Gardener, and today is a look at my indoor plants that I'm growing. It's been a week since my last video on them, and as you can see, I topped the celosia because it was just starting to flower, and it was touching the light and it was getting burnt on the light, so I cut it back like drastically, but it's already growing back, and it's, of course, the main stalk is still growing tall, so I'll probably have to do it again. You can see all these I cut off, but you can see the new growth came back right away. So that teaches me that this plant does not mind to be trimmed. It didn't die. I thought, you could take the risk. You cut the top of the flower off, the whole flower might croak, and luckily it didn't. And as you can see from my scare from I saw that one gnat in the office, and there hasn't been anything in the 2 weeks since, which is great because I don't want gnats in my house. This is the guy I should have moved out. He looks like he's trying to flower, so I might move him out, give him some more light so that he can actually flower. I think that's what the flower is supposed to look like, but it's very pale. So, and it's being covered by these guys. Even though I trimmed it, it's got more light since I trimmed it, but I'm going to definitely move that out and just leave these three, take these two out, leave these three, and I'll be back. So a lot can happen within a week. I sit down here so I can get up close and show you. This is my Zimhu unit that I'm growing the micro jalapenos in, and you can see we've got buds. They were starting to form last week, but they're really showing up now, and the plant's getting really tall. So I'm very excited about that. So what I did was I bought this trellis system from Amazon, and it's for, I believe it's for the iDo system. It's one of their accessories that you can buy, and it's really reasonable in price. And so I got two of those like last winter, and I really love them. They work really great because they fit perfectly in those holes. Or if you don't want to spend any money, you can get bamboo skewers from the dollar store and use some twist ties or whatever and make your own trellises. But yeah, so that's a look at the micro dwarf jalapeno. I'm really excited to get some, probably be a month, and I'll be eating jalapenos off here, which is cool. Be right back. So I know a lot of people talk about, being afraid to move things around, but I don't get as much plant shock when I move things around hydroponically, especially because I'm using the same solution and everything, and very similar lights, so it hasn't really been an issue. So I was growing the Vilma tomato. Well, I was growing the micro dwarf tomatoes in here. I mean, no, I was growing the micro jalapenos in here, and moved those out, and then I to a different unit. Then I put the Vilma in here, and those were getting tall, so I moved those out, and so now I'm growing some green onion, and just a fun experiment. I don't think I've seen anybody else do this. I've seen them put store-bought green onions into this is the seed starting deck, and I'm just going to start green onions, and so I'm going to grow 15 green onions because they're thin, they don't bush out at all. So I figured, why not give it a try, see if I can get some green onions to grow inside. And then next to that, I have the Venus micro dwarf tomatoes, and you can see I've got lots and lots of flowers and lots and lots of baby tomatoes. And this is a relatively small, it's probably 4 inches tall. I got all these nice, decent sized tomatoes. And then next to that, I've got the Micro Tom. And again, same thing. This is about double the size, and I've got tons and tons of little tomatoes. It looks like my dinosaur here is trying to eat trying to get a taste of the tomatoes. Got tons here, which is really cool. Down below there, like I said before, the opal basil is finally starting to take off. Again, there's no pumps, there's no moving water. There's just the Kratky method. It's just an old unit that I took the light bar off of because the system had died, and so I figured, why waste it? This is a perfectly good deck that I've been growing lots of food in. I'm gonna keep growing food in it. And then the light, of course, up underneath the shelf here. I just zip tied the light bar to the shelf, the rack, and so that you can have your own DIY growing system. So if you really wanted to, I'm going to back up here so you can see the entire rack. If I took out the middle shelves and just had the top shelf, I could hang an LED, long LED grow light, 4-foot. This is a 4-foot shelf. I grow a 4-foot LED light, even two of them, side by side, and I could raise and lower them, and I could start growing stuff from the bottom here, and you could grow tall. You can grow all the way up to the light. You know, like first you would, of course, have the light lowered all the way to the bottom. And then as the plants grew, you keep raising lights up, and you could have your own DIY AeroGarden farm. There's like 4 or 5 other big brands that cost like thousands of dollars. And yeah, you don't need that. You could just do this, you know, DIY. This is again, with the same theme. This is just lettuce that I'm growing in a, this was a, I think they were calling it was like from the dollar store. It was like a shoe box. They're, you know, put your shoes in, I guess. Or you could use it for food storage or whatever. It was like really cheap. And I just took an X-Acto knife and cut slots in here so I could get to the fluid. Again, there's no pumps or anything. This is just Kratky method. And then I cut holes. So this one I cut holes. I just like used a sharp blade and just made slits. And I can put the AeroGarden style baskets in here. And you can see the lettuce is doing great. Right here is the baby microdwarf tomatoes. It looks like they're about ready to start producing the flowers. And they're also very, very tiny plant, very small. And you get lots of tomatoes off here. So that's just fun. That's why I call this my experimental shelf, because this is the stuff I grow just for my own entertainment. I'm probably going to grow a kohlrabi or something in like this one. And it's some foil. I had a bowl here that was for the sponges, roll sponges. I heat them. Stay. All right. So I've got room here. I'm going to show something in the next week probably, or the week after. Something fun, just to, you'll see. It'll be pretty fun. Fun and funny. Here's the same dollar store box container. Again, you check to make sure it's food grade safe. It's got the bigger holes there, so I'm going to probably try to grow. Me and GT Junior Grows Alaska, we're having discussions about growing full-size onions hydroponically, start to finish. So, kind of thinking about that, because you can grow, you can regrow the cut ones and all that stuff, but we want to do start to finish from seed. And then also have it bulb out. So that means it can't sit in the bulb can't be below the water because it would rot. So, got some thoughts on that. So that's something, a work in progress. I still haven't filled these up yet, but I will. Right back. Well, show it right next to it. That's going to be my let pot station. Still haven't got that going yet, but I will. All right, here's one of the violet sparkle pepper plants. You can see I've got buds, flower buds. It's just about ready to flower. So probably in a couple, like 2 days, it'll have flowers on it, which is awesome. Next to that is the brown jalapeno, which is also growing big, and it's got buds. Looks like they're ready to start flowering. This thing was touching light. You see that brown spot there? That's from the LED. It touched the LED light and it burnt itself, so I had to raise the light bar up because it's growing fast. Here's the other violet sparkle was the kind of the runt of the four. This is the medium-sized one, and it's, let me back up here. This is the AeroGarden Bounty unit, which is a pretty large unit. And you can see that's why I keep trying to stress to people, you know, when you saw this thing has like, I forget how many pod systems it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. So 12. So this has 12 spots you can grow in. And if I had put one of these plants in all 12, they would have died, choked each other out, and ate each other's nutrition. It would have been very unhealthy. So don't be afraid to put the spacers in and not use every single one, because you're going to be much happier. You're going to have much better results. So I have 3. I have 3 plants. There's 12 slots, but I'm only growing 3 plants. Why? Because look at it, it's full. There's no more room for anything else. And even these are a little bit crowded. I mean, I could have got away with just growing 2. But 3 is fine. But as you can see, again, we've got flowers, tons and tons of flowers. So that means tons and tons of peppers. And this is just getting started. Same thing. If I can get this out of the way, same thing down here. And then the one next to it. Lots of flowers, buds. They're going to turn into flowers. So that's the lipstick pepper. So I've got this one here is the Violet Sparkle. This is a lipstick pepper. This is lipstick pepper. And if you remember from last year, lipstick peppers get to be huge. They get, you know, full size peppers. You know, like bell pepper size. So it's really awesome. And it was very prolific. Look at that. More flowers are about to open. That's really cool. Oh, there's one flower. There's a flower open. Let me see if I can show it. I can see with my eye. Right there. There's a flower that's already open. So I'm going to use my Bee the Bee and just give everything a little buzz. Like how it would in nature. They're self-pollinating, but you know, you want to help the pollen get down into the places where it needs to go. So just, you know, either every once in a while give it a little jiggle. I also have fans running on it, and that all helps. So I started 4 Violet Sparkle peppers in here, and again, same concept. This is another 6-pod system. I've got 2 Violet Sparkle plants in here, and it's full. There's nowhere else for it to go. Let's see if you see any. Oh yeah. Awesome. That's very exciting. And it didn't take very long. You know, I started actually very late. By now, see, if I would have started, because we had a very warm 50s and 60-degree winter, which is very unusual for Minnesota. We're normally in the negatives. Mine is below 0. Because it was so warm that I didn't want to start indoors until I was positive that there was no possibility of outside bugs getting inside. And you have to wait till the ground is frozen for a while for that. Like even in one fact a lot of people don't know is there are certain kinds of mosquitoes and bugs in Minnesota that don't actually die in the winter. They just hibernate underneath the snow. And if there's no snow, they can just fly around. So, yeah, be right back. So I got another system going here where I'm growing Little Jim lettuce. It's kind of a fun experiment. Now this is one occasion where I feel comfortable saying you can fill every single spot because it's a very thin, tall lettuce. It's a Little Jim lettuce. It's, you know, which the name implies is little, and hopefully it won't be an issue. But as it is, I'll just move some out, put some probably cracky jars or whatever. I've got room here on the shelf here. I can put jars here, and it'll still benefit from the light. But you can grow chives, anything that's tall, very tall and very skinny, you can pull out of. But as you saw from the peppers, I would grow at max 4 peppers in this system. And I'd be putting them, I put one in the far back corner, one like here, one here, and then one over by the bar there, so that they're as far apart from each other as possible. Next to that is where I moved the Vilma Micro Dwarf, And I got to probably move this light bar up again, but it's doing great. I trellised it out using the same trellis system that I used in the other one. And you can see there's holes here that I could put the trellis bars into if I was growing something tall than that. So even though they're for a different system, this is a Mofka 12 pod. This is a Zim Hu, and I've got AeroGardens, and the Bounty units also have the same size. So they all have similar size holes, so you can use the trellising for any of them, or bamboo skewers, as I said. And you can see what I do is, because this plant was kind of falling over, I just use this green garden wire to tie them up. So they're looking great. And as always, I like to end with looking at the Purple Lady Bok Choy because he's so pretty. And then I like to show off my Georgia Candy Roaster squash, which is like a 3 foot 3 foot long squash. And we do have flowers forming. So flowers all over. So far I haven't seen any females. These all appear to be males. And it's growing way up the line. So I'll do a far away. And so what I'm trying to do is I gotta train this one because it's growing so fast. This from here to here was like 12 hours. So I've got to train it to grow this way, and then follow the bar around and around and around and around. And as you can see, I started this one down here, and it branched off into two. One decided to grow up here tall. This one is the one I've been training to go around into the back. But so you can see it's a very happy, healthy plant. Look at the size of that leaf. That's really awesome. So yeah, I'm very excited. And then the baby one, see if I can show it. The baby one down there is hopefully gonna catch up to its big brother. And so I'll hopefully have a spoilage of choice of male and female flowers in order to pollinate and hopefully get a squash grown inside. And if nothing else, and I said this last time I grew a squash inside, and I got a couple, and I was fine with that, and I wasn't even really desperately trying, but I just enjoy looking at this. This makes me happy. It's a bright light in my man cave here, and it, especially in a dark Minnesota, snowy, gloomy winter, it's awesome. I mean, now I kind of get why I never understood why people liked houseplants, but I kind of get it because this is like, to me, it's like a houseplant. It's huge and it's beautiful. And then once the flowers bloom on it, those are like super gorgeous, really pretty. But you'll see. So yeah, very excited. All right, that's just a tour of what's going on inside. I've got a billion other things going on right now, and hopefully you'll be able to see those coming up soon too. All right, any comments, questions, leave in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Back up here. Have an awesome day. Squash Tower.